Hey everyone, Ethan here from Extreme RC 4x4, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the ProBoat Volere 22. This is another boat that I really enjoy. It is in that kind of small area where you get really scale looks as well as good performance, like my ProBoat Alpha Patrol boat that I've been also really enjoying. This boat fits right in with that one. So this is not a brand new unboxing, as you can probably tell. The box is not even together right now. But we've had this boat for a while, and some things have been done to it. But I did try to film it when I just got it, and the footage was corrupt, so I never got to filming it over again. But this is going to be the initial video for the channel. So I've already got the boat out of the box. And I would like to mention that when I do travel with these boats, I usually travel with them in their factory packaging. That means putting them back away into their box with the foam around them, just because it protects it a lot better than anything else that I've come up with over the years. These are the batteries that I'm running with it right now. We recently just purchased these. These are Venom 2S 2000 mAh 20C LiPo batteries. They seem like plenty for this boat, although the smaller life or the smaller milliamp hours does definitely shorten the run times. I don't have a time for you right now, but we've also been using this Venom battery voltage alarm that goes off when the voltage gets too low. However, I think these things might be a little bit sensitive to moisture, because they do tend to they start acting really weird after you've run them in the boats. So I'm not really sure. I guess I'm gonna have to try them out later off camera again. But you also get this little piece of Velcro that you stick on your batteries. It comes with a little nickel metal high drive battery. I have one right here, but it does not come with a Dean's connector on that, so keep that in mind. So getting into the boat here, the boat is very detailed. This back hatch here, you would not even expect it to be a piece that was removable from the hull, just because they did such a nice job with the trim around the outside here and just blending the lines of the wood. So you can pull this off, and it's a very nice fit. It's just magnets on the inside, but it just pops in there, and you would never expect that to come off. Also, this front seat compartment, a little bit more obvious because there is not a way for them to kind of trim around this. But this seat cover comes off to show off the rest of your electronics. Really nice looking seats. You can tell that they kind of were trying to go for that cloth look, but the paint on it is not the best in the world. However, it is quite nice detail that they have on here for ready to run. Looking at our dash here, you can see that all of the gauges have trim around them, as well as the stickers for the trim themselves. This joint is a little bit more obvious where the wood meets the dashboard, but we do have many buttons or switches on the bottom and your steering wheel. I'm not exactly sure what the small lever below the steering wheel is for, but it is there. The windshield, also really nice looking. We have a spotlight on the side here. Would be very cool if that worked. But we also have some more details on the hood, like our cleat right here. And as you can see, our flagpole is kind of falling out in the back. I need to re-epoxy that in. But one complaint I do have about this boat is that it does not have a drain plug anywhere on it. So I do need to dump the water out of it, because it does have some sitting water in it. And I think if they just put one right here, it would not pose any problems aesthetically or really for performance. I don't see how it could. Another complaint that my father had was that this piece right here, although it is nice how they burnt the on and off into the servo mount, it's definitely going to get moldy. So I may be making this, or making another piece like this out of aluminum if I can. I'm not sure if it's glued in there. It almost looks to be, but I couldn't be for sure at the moment. The ESC comes with these EC3 connectors on them from the factory, which I'm not a huge fan of because I just standardized with Dean's, so I made this little short connector. But our ESC is right here, and we have a 4-channel receiver in the back. With this boat you get a pretty basic 2-channel receiver, or sorry, 2-channel remote. I'm not even sure if this has fail-safe on it, but this is pretty standard with ready-to-run boats. You just get your really basic remotes, which works out just fine most of the time. The Spectrum servo is nice to see, name brand parts in there, and haven't had any issues with that, but that just runs down to our rudder right here, right behind our inboard propeller. It's a really similar drivetrain to a lot of the faster boats that you see out on the water today, especially from ProBoat, how they have the this kind of piece that hangs off the back for your rudder. So they did a very nice job. This boat definitely drives. It doesn't drive like a scale boat necessarily. It has some speed to it, but it is not tearing this boat out of the water like some of your faster boats. It is a 550 size motor in here, I believe. It is water cooled. The pickup is right here besides our motor shaft, and the tube runs all the way down the length of the boat to the coil around the motor. And then what's really neat is where the water is released out is right out of one of these exhaust ports on the side of the boat. You can see the brass tube where the rubber tube must meet it. It also has some small cooling fins around the motor where it mounts, and haven't really had any issues with it getting too hot, but also haven't had a ton of time to run this. We just started, or we just purchased these last week, and we got to run them last weekend, so not a ton of experience. We did have a slight issue where the front, this hood ornament was broken off of the boat by an undisclosed matter, we'll say. But I have CNC machined a new front hood ornament for this boat. It's really similar to the factory one, except it doesn't have that kind of fin in the center, but I thought I would go with that basic look, which would also allow me to machine the bottom of this to fit around the boat. I don't know how well you can see that, but it is made to fit on this boat, and the curvature around this hood, I was not able to match that on the CNC machine because that's our machine basically carves flat surfaces, and I don't have a program advanced enough to do that, but it does look the part on there. I think that if you didn't tell anybody that this was out of part, they wouldn't really notice it. So I'm really happy with how that turned out, and it's just super glued on there. I made sure not to get any around the outside here because I didn't want to fog it all up on the clear coat. On the box, this claims to be real wood layered over the boat, and it definitely does look very realistic on here. So overall, haven't had any issues with this boat, aside from it not having a drain plug and the accident with the front hood ornament. It would be nice if these boats would come factory with a LiPo cutoff switch, because with the LiPos you really get the optimal performance out of these boats. I don't know if they were expecting people to be trying to get these boats to perform to their best ability, But the nickel metal high drive batteries, I don't really like those because the voltage kind of steadily drops as you lose the milliamp hours, whereas the lipos, it's a very slow drop of voltage until you get to a point where it just completely drops off the edge. That's why you have to stop with these batteries at a certain point. If you just go ahead and Google a lipo voltage chart, you can see how slowly it drops as the battery life, or as the battery percentage drops, and then at one point it'll kind of just drop off. So it's a very detailed boat. It performs similar to my Alpha Patrol boat. They're very close in speed with the lipo batteries, so they're really fun to run together. This is my dad's boat, but it's always fun to run two boats together, kind of chase each other around, as long as you don't run into each other. But thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you like this boat or if you'd like to see it out on the water. I'm sure that I can get some running footage of it in the future. But thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.